A lot of people have reached out to me of late talking about O-1 visas. What are O-1 visas? Who qualifies for it? In fact, USCIS came up with an updated list around O-1 visas on who qualifies and what kind of profiles are considered under an O-1 visa. Joining me all the way from Santa Clara is my colleague Deepika Singh of Chugh and attorney Ishan Anand. आज एक के साथ एक ही नहीं दो का धमाल होगा on the American Alien Podcast. First off, Ishan and Deepika, thank you so much for joining me today. I really truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Neha.
Thank you for having me.
So, I think you guys also get this question all the time about O-1 visas. What is an O-1 visa, by the way? Who qualifies for it? Deepika, if you want to begin.
Yeah, so very good question, Neha. And yes, we get this question quite often. People ask us, oh, do I qualify for an O visa because my H-1B has not got picked up in the lottery? Yeah. And do I qualify? How do I get an O-1? So a great visa to actually explore. But technically, O-1 is for people who have extraordinary or outstanding ability. So it's basically a work visa, very similar to the H-1, where you can actually, an employer can file an O-1 for their employee, and then they get about 3 years of, a validity, and then they can come to the US and work on outstanding ability.
Okay.
But there are certain requirements you have to meet. It does sound very easy. It's just even though it's the letter O, but there is a lot which goes into the visa.
So ये जो visa का soup है ना, A, B, C, D, all the way until O and beyond. Ishan, I want you to clarify for us with the O visa, right? So let me rephrase it. Can someone who's on H-1B, who's a technical person, right, qualify for an O? या यहाँ पर भी lottery system है. They have to go through a lottery here as well.
So there's no lottery. You need an agent or an employer in the US. Now, I don't know why someone who is already in H-1 status would want to go for O, because both are non-immigrant visas. If somebody comes to me and the person wants to transfer to O, I would say, why don't we try to file an EB-1 instead? If it actually qualifies for O, chances are high that you may also qualify for EB-1.
Okay.
And if you have an agent or an employer, you may qualify for EB-1A or EB-1B, right? So I don't know if I would recommend transferring to O from H, but yes, you can transfer your status from H to O. That can be done. How you do it? It's I would say if you are in the top of your league, whatever you are doing, it may be in science, arts, business, athletics,
okay.
Whatever your field is. If you believe that you are amongst the top 3 or 5% of your area, then you may be eligible for evidentiary requirements. It's they did not specify what they need to prove if you are an O-1. Okay. What I generally follow similar criteria which I follow for EB-1A.
Okay.
I follow similar thing. In evidences, you may need if you have like once in a lifetime award.
Okay.
That one award is enough. You don't need much. But if you do not have once in a lifetime, like suppose if somebody is an athlete and if the person has gold medal, Olympics gold medal, I would not worry about like other evidences. But if somebody has like lesser known awards, not like once in a lifetime, then I would like go trade journals, media, experts' opinion. Also, the organizations, like suppose if somebody is an athlete, so I would go for USA Gymnastics.
Okay.
And somebody from that organization, ask for recommendations, and they actually would give they actually love that. They come forward and say, okay, we would, if somebody is well known, they come and give us recommendation. And then if you have a judge, like judged some other people's work as a judge in that field, that qualifies. There's a lot of evidentiary things that you can do to build up your profile. People feel, oh, if we publish books, then we are qualified for O1 or EB1. That's
Yeah.
not entirely true.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, one question that was coming to my mind was about L1s. So L1s typically are very limited in their scope onto jumping onto other visas, and if the employer doesn't want to file for their green card, then they are really left with not much options, right? Can they also jump the hoops and come on an O visa? I mean, till the time they qualify for the set that is required by USCIS, the skill set.
Deepika, you want to take it
Yeah.
or?
Yeah, so Neha, see, L1 is more managerial capacity, right? There
Yeah.
L1 has two bifurcations. One is an L1A manager and one is an L1A specialized knowledge. Now, a person who has qualified for a specialized knowledge, maybe there could be some overlap for the O1, because when we're talking about specialized knowledge, we're talking about this person has some know-hows of that process or that methodology which is proprietary to the company, which is out there, and you have clients using it. So that probably we may find some bits and pieces where we can add towards to qualify this person for an O1,
Okay.
which eventually can lead to a faster green card route. But this is specifically for the L1B people, right?
Okay.
L1A people are anyways managerial. They have people manager skills. They're coming here. They're going to get the green card sooner anyways, because they also fall under the EB-1C category.
Yeah.
So, well, there can be an overlap, but again, as Ishan has said, right, there is a lot of evidence which has to be supported.
Okay.
Just by saying that, it won't help. We need evidence to document, evidence to show USCIS that this person really qualifies for that O1 visa. Having said that, I just wanted to kind of give out one thing, is that O1A is typically for people who are in the technology and arts and all those fields. O1B is divided into two categories. One is people who work in the television industry.
Yeah.
And another one is specifically for arts. When we talk about arts, it's more like performances, and you're like a stage performer or a drama, like that. Some of the O1As which I have done is for tennis coaches, people who've actually represented at the Olympics. They've trained national teams actually. So I've done like a couple of O1As for some of the tennis coaches, where I've kind of they work for certain clubs here in the Bay Area, and they have actually coached some of the national teams of some of the European countries.
Okay.
So those really qualify. We can really bring out their evidences to show that they've really done that. They've been on media. They've been on the charts of the Olympics, right? They've won gold medals. So those definitely qualify for an O1, and that's a very strong profile when it comes to an O1 visa category.
Sorry, Ishan, go ahead.
Right. So from L to O, now the thing is, again, you need an employer. But you are saying with L, if the employer is not helping you out or not willing to support you, how will you transfer from L to O?
So here's where the basic question comes in. Does one need an employer to support an O1 visa, just like an H and an
Correct.
L?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because see, now if the person has that much talent that the person is thinking about O, and the person is on the L, I would go for EB1A.
Okay.
Because if you are a profile of an O, you are most likely a profile of an EB1A. Most likely. Okay. Because it's like similar. But yeah, so Deepika was telling us like about some motion picture, like artists, performers. If that's the case, if somebody comes to me, I prefer P instead of O. It's a lower bar, easier to get, instead of like going for basically, if somebody's a performer, I would rather go for P than O.
See, but everybody's end goal is green card. I think getting a green card is fairly easier than from P. Deepika, you're an expert in P, so tell me more.
Yeah, so P, Ishan, I think the only drawback is that you get only in 1 year increments, right? So every year they have to file a visa, right? But when you file an O1, you get a straightforward 3 years. And in 3 years, then you have enough evidence to support your EB1A, right? And then O1 is the biggest challenge. If O1 hurdle is met, your EB1, you have a very, very high chances of getting a green card through the EB1A process, right? So that's why, I mean, I do a lot of Ps as well as Os, to be honest. But yeah, wherever I can fit a profile for O, I tackle that.
I try to
Because I
try
feel,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel that O is it's much more subjective and to the whole process, and you can really prove USCIS that this person really needs to be in the US to kind of perform
Yeah.
his art or whatever,
Yeah,
Okay.
So
basically P, I correlate P with age.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
there's like, so for P, it's not like you need to be like top. You can be like normal performer and can be eligible for P. But oh, if somebody's like, not like a, because many people from India now, everyone thinks that they are O profile or they are EB1 profile.
yeah.
So so every day I get at least 2 or 3 messages from people in India, and they are like, "Oh, can we do EB1? Can we do national interest waiver? Can we they all of them think that they are like, you know, they can
Qualified.
self-sponsor. They
So
can
you
self-sponsor.
actually read my mind. So Deepika, when you were talking about all these extraordinary people, who are Olympic stars and whatnot and coaches, I really wanted to talk to you about those who are stuck in green card backlog. And I don't want to sound very presumptuous here, but and correct me if I'm wrong. For those who are stuck in the green card backlog but have an amazing profile, might not be an Olympic star, but they are stars in their own right. um and to Ishan's point, they call you up, they ask you, do I qualify for an O visa or an EB-1A, right? So how do you handle that?
Yeah. So one thing I want to clarify, Ishan, P visa does not have a dual intent, right? That's another drawback of the P visa. You can't file a green card when you're a P1. I know we can do the I-140 overseas and stuff, but P doesn't have a dual intent. So I kind of lean more towards the O1. Now, Neha, to answer your question, right? When it comes to O1 visas,
Yeah.
how do I tell people that, yeah, you will qualify for an O1, right? Now, see, I don't make that decision for them, but I tell them that this is exactly what I need. And if you can provide me evidences, then we can look into filing an O1 for you. At the end, USCIS makes the final decision on your case, right? But some of the documents which I tell them, like, see, people don't realize we do so much of extreme work, we do so much of exclusive work, but we never document it, right?
Yeah.
So I always tell people that if you are in your technology field and you are you're an exclusive person in whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
document your work. Like, if you've had patents on your name, right? If you've written white papers for whatever you've done for your organization,
Yeah.
author them. If you've written books for your for your organization, and in the IT industry, it's very common. When you are working on something very niche, you author books, you put your name as an author. All those documents will work as an evidence for you, right? If you're on a panel of some discussion in your organization, right?
Yeah.
Your name is out there in the case studies, or it's in your newsletters. All those evidences can be documented and be applied with the O1s. So recently I did one case for a LinkedIn. It was a consulting assignment for LinkedIn, where this person was actually doing a lot of work for LinkedIn, where she was posting a lot of articles for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I was able to get that O1 approved because I was able to document each and every LinkedIn post she put. I put every link in my support letter telling them that, hey, you know what? This is the kind of work she's doing. This is so much unique. And not everybody has that writing skills, right?
Yeah.
So considering that, it depends upon the individual, how you can document as to what you can bring on the table to get your O1 approved. But as I told you, we in our daily minds don't realize that what exclusive work we are doing.
Exactly.
So document. That is what I would say.
And talk to an attorney.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
understand.
I call it screenshots. Basically, I always tell them, take screenshots of everything that you do. Wherever
Yeah.
you receive an email, if you are receiving an email like a invitation to join, to come as a judge, or do something, screenshot it. That who sent you an email. What's the profile of this person? So screenshots, emails, basically same thing, pictures of all those things. If you're going as a judge, take a picture. Like, suppose like today we are recording this, take a screenshot of this. Oh, who are the panelists, and
I'm
stuff
doing it
like
right
that.
now.
Yeah, I mean, like all those things.
Yeah.
But as you talked about green card backlog, and I was like, April 2023
Oh boy.
is a disgrace.
Yes.
It's a disgrace to immigrant community. EB-1, EB-2, EB-3, EB-4, EB-5, all of them,
Yeah.
everything is backlog.
Yes.
Everything is backlog. Think about it.
Because USCIS needs more skilled immigrants to be able to
Not
help.
even for
Yeah.
Indians. Not
Yeah.
not even for Indians. EB-2 is backlogged for rest of the world.
Yes, almost all
Everything
countries.
is
Yeah.
backlogged. Think about it.
So, Deepika, I know we've digressed a little bit, but coming back to the point of establishing your profile through, you mentioned LinkedIn, right? So does social media posts qualify in your profile as an evidence?
Well, no, it depends upon the work you're doing and whether
Okay.
it's out there on the social media, right? Now, so again, it depends upon what kind of an individual you are, what is your industry, how is your recognition in the industry? Are you a know-how in the industry? Are you like an industry guru, right? That's exactly what they're looking for. Now, how social media helps is that, if you're on any of the business platforms, like, maybe so in LinkedIn or, some of these major events which happen, then those add value to your profile, right? Because there are so many conferences which happen. There are so many, industrial talks which happen in your area or in your arena, right? So if you are participating in any of that, those can be evidence towards your O1 application. And then obviously that also trickles down to your EB-1 if you're trying to apply for the EB-1.
Or if you have like 1 million subscribers,
I was going to go
2 million subscribers, for sure.
Yeah, why not?
But influencer.
Yeah, you could be an influencer, but then see, again, you have to make sure that for O1, you need an employer, right? One, or an agent who's filing it, right? And there has to be some correlation of the work you're going to come and do in the US. And then again, proving that that work cannot be done from where you're doing it, why you have to be in the US. So all those obviously is interlinked as well, right? You just can't file a petition and say, hey, I'm going to come to the US to just come and sit, right? That doesn't help. You are coming here to continue to perform valuable work for your industry. That's very important. Just filing the petition is not, you have to continue to perform valuable work. So that is very important for this whole O1 visa category.
So all of you who are stuck in the green card backlog are from technology or non-technology backgrounds. You literally hit the gold mine in terms of knowledge to what you can do. Okay, so we know what we can do, right, to build a profile. What should one not do? What are the things that people should avoid when they're trying to build up their profile, as such? Of course, they try to check mark all the points that USCIS has given them in terms of building a profile. But as a rule of thumb, do you advise clients on certain things that they definitely should not do?
To me or Deepika?
Both of us.
So I tell them that don't try to be a lawyer. I tell them that basically they come to us reading social media, reading Google, and all those, and they think that they know everything, and they try to tell me or tell us that what we should do, and that sometimes, and also I have seen many cases where they have already filed EB-1 or O-1 themselves.
Yeah.
And then if the RFE comes, then they come to us. Okay, this happened. Now what to do? You have done whatever you wanted to do. Now what? It's very difficult to basically bail out a badly filed petition.
Okay.
You may be qualified for a petition, maybe national interest or O-1 or EB-1, but if you file it improperly, so you cannot change the substance of the petition. The first petition, the first time, whatever you are telling USCIS is the substance.
Okay.
You can corroborate that petition. You cannot add on to that. We missed this, we missed that thing, and that's sometimes USCIS says you cannot add more document. You cannot tell us what you did not tell us before.
Yeah.
If you told us that you are an entrepreneur or a scientist, now you cannot say that you are also an entrepreneur. So first of all, you figure out who you are. So many times that happens. So I would say, if you feel that you are qualified, then talk to your attorney. Let them decide.
Okay.
So Neha, just to add to Ishan, to that point, that a lot of attorneys will say we can do EB-1, A lot of attorneys will say we can do O-1, right? I would say go to a person who can really help you with the visa. this is an expensive visa to file in the first place, because none of the attorneys are going to do it for a very low price. They'll charge exorbitant. And I feel that if you go choose your counsel correctly, that's very important, because there's a lot of things which go into this visa. As I said, it's just an alphabet from A to Z, but it's very extreme. You have to really see what you're presenting to USCIS, and you don't want to get a denial on something which was not supposed to be put in and was put in, right? So just make sure that you are going to a good attorney who can evaluate your case and present it very well in front of USCIS, because this is the only chance you have. And then you don't want to get denied on a base where every visa you file is going to will hit you with the same question.
Yeah, questionable, like, yes. So also, these are like, what I believe that these are all like, you are filing a business plan with USCIS.
Yeah.
But the person who's coming to you is kind of a business, and you're preparing a business plan like this will happen in the future. So if you waive my perm requirement, if you if you allow me to come here, I will contribute. I will contribute to the economy this way. So it's not like existing. It's a future. It's a plan that you're telling. So like a business plan. So how you prepare it is very important. Sometimes you have the all the qualifying criteria you meet, but the way you build your profile, the way you present it to USCIS is wrong, and they deny it.
So is this in reference to self-petition, or is this in reference
Sometimes
to
attorneys, like, they don't know what they are doing. Sometimes they are like, they just file something.
Yeah.
Because they don't generally do EB-1s or O-1s. They get a petition and they say, okay, we will do it. And then they read, and then they prepare petition and then file it. They don't explain.
Right.
Because see, you have to explain also evidentiary requirements. So evidence, you have to explain, what does this mean? It's like you are filing something. So what is this? Sometimes you prepare a cover, explain, oh, this is this, I'm attaching this stuff. Everything is coming from client. You are just compiling and writing a cover letter saying, we are attaching these things, and now you figure out.
Right.
And USCIS, like, what to figure out? You tell us what this thing is,
You have to really build a case. So how does one find a good attorney, Deepika and Ishan? I mean, you guys are attorneys.
Contact Chugh.
They trust you.
Contact Chugh.
Yeah, I mean, we have qualified lawyers, and a lot of us can help people, and who actually want to explore the option of an O-1. We can definitely give them guidance, and we can tell them that whether they we evaluate a case. We don't decide on their behalf, but we can evaluate and tell them, hey, you know what, this needs more weightage. This is okay. This needs more work. This needs more documentation, and that's exactly how we play a role in this whole visa category. And
very important stuff. Very important stuff. If somebody is telling you, if an attorney is telling you that they will evaluate your EB-1 case for free, they are not EB-1 attorneys. Because to evaluate, it takes a lot of time.
Yes.
If I'm evaluating a case for EB-1, it takes at least an hour or 2 hours. I cannot spend 2 hours for free. And if I am doing it for free, that means I'm not that much of an attorney, but I'm telling you that I am a big shot or something.
Right.
So people actually, what they do, they want you to evaluate your EB-1 or O-1 case for free, but they don't understand evaluation is a big part. That's the major, like, I would say
setting a foundation. It's like setting a foundation.
I would say it's like a cardio before your workout.
Yeah.
So it can be free.
Right. And I've had cases, Neha, where people have just sent me the resume and said, hey, do I qualify for an EB-1?
Evaluated, yes.
No, I cannot give you a decision based on your resume.
Yeah.
I need to see evidence, because USCIS will not approve your case on your resume.
Yeah.
They want to see what hard work you have done in the last, decade or 5 years or for your entire professional career. So, well, as I said, it's not an easy visa, but it's definitely doable. There could be people who know that they don't even know that they qualify, and they actually could qualify for that visa, so
sometimes I think people also reach out to you guys asking, hey, I may or may not qualify, but can you get creative and see if I may fit into one of the criterias, right? That happens too, right? I've had certain cases like that who've come to me and said, "Hey Neha, I've been doing this, and I may qualify for out of 10, you need to qualify for 3. So I do qualify for those 3 pointers, but can you
Oh
get a
my
little
God.
creative and fit me into it?" I'm like,
People come, they say, I'm earning $250,000 a year. That's like, there's a requirement that, you command high salary.
yeah.
So like, oh, I'm earning like 250 a year. It's like, that's a high salary. That's a high salary maybe for you, but in your profession, we have to be, it's a comparative analysis.
Yeah.
True.
But 250 in your area, wherever you live, in your field, may not be a high salary. Okay, so it's not like if you are if you are like a singer,
Yeah.
or like an artist, like like maybe you are like I would say a trampoline coach.
Yeah.
It depends if you are where, and then you are in California maybe. So 250 in Bay Area, and you are like in an IT profession.
Yeah.
Every other IT profession in Bay Area may earn 250, and it's not like you are not commanding high salary here. It's like stuff.
All
So
right.
Neha, just to
Yeah.
add to Ishan's point, while pursuing law school, they say that we are not in creative school, we are in fact school. So it's very important that the facts matter, creativity does not. So when we deal anything where it comes to legal work and legal services, it's all factual. So we have to remember that we are not creative writers, we are law school and legal people. So we need to believe in facts. So the facts come from you. We just create the petition for you and we present it to USCIS in a good way. That is what the lawyers will do. And yes, we will identify issues. We will let you know where things may be positive or negative. That's what our job is. But as I said, facts, it's not creative writing.
Facts matter, and good attorneys do exist. They may not come for free or cheap, but they are there because you want your case to get processed. You want to not only just qualify, but to see the end of the light, right? You want to be on the other side of your visa petition. And that's why if you have any questions, any concerns, you want to reach out and want one of these to evaluate your profile, hit me up. I'm leaving my email ID here, and I'll be able to help you set up an appointment with one of these, and we'll be able to help you with your EB-1 profile or O visa, whatever you think you qualify for. We'll be able to guide you. I want to thank you, Deepika, and I want to thank you, Ishan, for taking out time today. It's a Sunday, but you guys have made time for this discussion. I truly appreciate it. I know our audience loves it. So thank you. And to you, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do that right now, because more such content will be produced, will be put on YouTube under this channel every week. And this is all there to help you make better choices.
I have already subscribed you.
Sorry?
I've already subscribed you.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and I would just say Ishan is one of our good attorneys in Chugh LLP, and he's dealt with some very exclusive cases for us. So yeah, do reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help all of you all. Definitely.
Absolutely. All right then. Until next time.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.